my friends. Let me try to adjust this a little bit. There we go. Though it still looks like I'm looking more up, but I have at my computer logged in to another screen, a bigger screen, and so I'm still trying to get used to it. So I may look down here or I may look up here. I'm not entirely sure yet. Um, but anyway, I wanted to give you guys a quick update on to what was going on. Um, I guess the big news I can share is that um, this past Sunday we had 2 days ago. Can't believe it's only that amount of time ago, but Keith and I went out to have dinner with Keith's brother, his wife, his son, um, or Keith's nephew, I should say, Keith's dad and mom. And we took the train out there, which was my first time doing that, so that was kind of fun. It's kind of like riding the underground too, but it's outdoors. So it was kind of fun to get to sit on the train and watch the scenery go by and everything. And so we got out there, and I believe I'm not sure if we were in Farway, which is where Keith's parents live, or if we were somewhere else that Keith's um, over somewhere close to there. But yeah, for some reason we went out that way to have dinner, and we went to this little pub, which is very different from the kind of pub that is in America. Like a pub in America is more like a place you stop up for alcoholic beverages. Um, but but this place, like, it looked nice. Like, it had drinks. It had like the beer and the other stuff like that. But it was also a restaurant, and so it was pretty good. Um, the portions, like, they were probably smaller than what you would get in America, but like I could not eat very much. I'm currently trying to expand my level of eating, if that makes sense, because I do a lot more walking than I have been. Because, we're in the middle of Exeter, and so wherever you want to get to, you can walk to, which is really nice, but I'm still getting used to the walking aspect of it. So that was the other thing that was nice, was to get to sit for a while and just be transported to wherever, wherever it was that we were. Also, it had the most British name. It was called the Hare and Hounds, which reminds me of like old fashioned back in the day, hunting parties and stuff like that. So that was a lot of fun. Well, I say it was a lot of fun. It was the food was really good. Um, it was weird though, because I don't know if his family is very introverted, but they kind of spent a lot of time just talking amongst themselves. And like, I don't know. I'm one of those awkward people that I'm like, if I meet somebody for the first time, well, number one, I'll more likely let them lead the conversation because then I can just respond to what they're saying. And they did ask me some questions, and it was funny because I didn't realize it was for his brother's birthday until Keith handed me a birthday card and said, "Hey, put a dollar bill in there or whatever." And so I was like, "Okay," So I put a dollar bill in there. Immediately, it went to his brother's side, which I have a feeling was the whole purpose behind me putting the dollar bill in there, because the kid could, you know, look at American money or whatever. And I'm not sure how old the kid was. He seemed to be about maybe 6, maybe 7. I don't know. He still looked really young and stuff. But, like, the other thing that I really kind of liked is they had a small playground out back of the restaurant. And so the little boy, there were a couple of points you could tell he was getting bored because he was the only kid amongst, several adults and everything. And you know, so his parents let him go play outside, which I thought was really nice, because you shouldn't have to force. Not that it's forcing, but like, I was the oldest child, so I always grew up being around adults for the most part, and I kind of had to either bring my own entertainment, which usually meant books, so you usually saw me with a book, or I had to interact with the older people and stuff, and like, that's fine. But I just kind of thought that was really neat that they were like, yeah, you don't have to sit here and hang out with all the adults. Go do kids stuff for a bit, you know. And I just thought that was interesting. I felt bad because I couldn't eat all my food. There was just like, and it was a decent portion. I had fish cakes apparently, which are like fish that are put into like a patty shape and then they were fried and they were really good. But I just couldn't eat them all. And so it was just kind of like, ah. So I felt bad having to, and like, I couldn't eat dessert. Now, Keith did give me a bite of what he was eating, which was like a raspberry cheesecake kind of thing. And that was really good. But it was definitely interesting. It was definitely more of a. Well, and I think part of it is I'm so used to eating smaller portions due to living with my parents for years, and it was always kind of like, you get one portion of casserole or two slices of pizza or whatever. And, it's like I can understand that, but at the same time, it's like now I am going out walking a lot more because, like I said, we're in the middle of city center, as they would say on like House Hunters or whatever. And so, I'm in the middle of the city, so it's like if I want to go get food or go shopping or whatever, everything's out there. Matter of fact, one of the other things I want to do, we were planning on going to Ash and Nikki's house, which is Keith and my friends from the hero side. And they were kind of the ones who introduced Keith and I. Um, but we were going to go to their place on Saturday because they have game day where it's like either D&D, which I'm excited to join an actual active group and stuff and get to participate and play a character and all of that kind of stuff. But then it turned out they have a 4-year-old who apparently was sick and had to go to the doctor and found out it was just like a flu bug or whatever. But they were like, yeah, we probably shouldn't have a bunch of people over and that kind of stuff. And I was like, that makes sense. So Keith and I were already out in town, and so we ended up exploring a little bit. It was very cool because I got to see in the Harry Potter movies where they show Diagon Alley. Let's see if I can find the picture. I probably should have done this before I started filming, but hold on a second. Yep. Hold on. That's what they based Diagon Alley off of. And we went down this little cobblestone street, and it had like different shops, different little restaurants, that kind of thing. Oh, and one thing that really excited me, they have a shop that sells crystals. And I was like, we're going in here for a minute because, like, I have a few that I brought from home, but, like, again, I wasn't able to get to that shop for a while. And, like, it wasn't really a new age type shop. It was kind of a combination crystals and jewelry shop, which I thought was really kind of cool. And it is a bit on the expensive side, but they did have the little baskets in one section that had like obsidian used for protection or rose quartz used for self love or whatever. And so I just kind of felt like I found my new place to get any of these crystals that I need. So we browsed around there for a bit, and then we went. Exeter has a very nice multi-story library, And so we went in there, browsed around for a bit, and I was very excited because, well, like I said, I'm still getting used to walking everywhere. So I was like, okay. So I got in there and I was like, ooh, let's sit down right there. Well, where we happened to sit, I turned to my left and they had an audiobook section. And the first thing I laid eyes on was they had an audiobook based on the very first Sue Grafton detective novel, which, like, I don't know if y'all know that, but Sue Grafton was an author. Um, she did books about back in the 80s, a detective, private investigator called Kinsey Milhone, who, growing up, I kind of was like, when I grow up, I want to be like this, you know? But I also wasn't sure how it would be like her because she was like completely opposite everything that I was. Like, she was outgoing, she was very, she was willing to do what needed to be done to solve the case and to figure out what was going on and stuff. And I also really loved her books because it would go from like normal, Kinsey would be checking out a location or whatever, and then find out that she would be locked in the building with the killer, who, of course, would do kind of the obvious killer thing, but one that in real life you would be like, why are you doing this? You're only going to draw attention to yourself. But, like, I remember the very first book, she gets trapped in a building with the killer, and she's like, and the killer starts singing, if I remember right, it's a song that was popular like years ago, like even back before the 80s. And it was about a ant trying to push a big rubber tree plant. And it was like, high hopes, he's got high hopes, you know. Because he's just a little ant. And he's trying to push this thing that's so much bigger than him. And yet he's just like, okay, you know. But instead of singing the normal way, he'd be like, sing it really creepily. Well, what I liked about the Kinsey Milham books is they followed the alphabet. So it would be like A is for alibi, B is for body, C is for corpse, you know. And so, and like, I remember reading these books. I think I got up to either N or O, and then the author died, Sue Grafton. Like, she ended up dying. I don't remember what it was for, but I remember hearing about it on Facebook at the time, because I was on Facebook. And so I remember hearing about it and being like, oh my. Because, you know, I joined a group that had to do with those mysteries. And so she died before she could finish. the books, and she was planning on going through Z. And so I remember at the time, excuse me, I remember at the time feeling very, very sad about that because, you know, like I wanted to read those books, and I, if I remember right, I think the Facebook group, they were planning on, I don't know if they ever did, but they were planning on coming together as a group and trying to write the next book that was due to come out. And I want to say it was, like, I don't remember. And I know I missed a couple of her books in there because there was a time where, I wasn't making a lot of money. And so it was kind of like I couldn't get the books when they came out. I seem to remember seeing the S book, that she got in through S in the alphabet. So she had TV, whatever, TUV, but yeah, so that is kind of sad that she died and that she couldn't finish her books and stuff. But, like, I seem to remember the Facebook group discussing maybe we can take over, maybe we can continue writing the books as like a dedication to her or whatever. But I don't remember hearing anything else from them. I'm gonna have to look this up now and see if they did anything else. But yeah, I was so excited because I hadn't thought about those books in a long time. And so it was kind of cool to be like, oh, they made audiobooks of them. And so that was cool. So we got to wander around a bit, check out the library. I didn't get a library card. I'm kind of planning on sometime this week walking down there again and seeing if I can get a library card. Because it would be really nice. And they have, oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Well, number one, you walk into the library and there's this cafe area where you can get like food and drink. And you can just like sit and stuff. And they have a whole outdoor area where you can sit. And then, of course, like I said, they have areas in the library itself where you can sit and read or whatever. And they even have places where you can, like, charge your phone or whatever. And, I just find that really cool. I'm just like, oh, that is neat that they would, that they have such a nice little place. And of course, I want to go back to that crystal shop because I want to kind of examine a little closer, like what they have. Because, like I said, I have like about 4, 5 maybe crystals. But I'd like more. And like that's the other thing is I'm currently kind of trying to figure out like what to do as far as like I've mostly gotten settled into married life, like I'm here, I've spent some time doing some cleaning and you know, that kind of stuff, gotten my stuff out of bags and I emptied all the boxes that I had sent to Keith over the years and put a few things up on shelves and stuff. And it's just kind of difficult because the space, like, it's nice and there's plenty of room for both of us, but there's not really, like, it's not really a big space, you know? It's not like where I was living before, where I would hang out in my room, but yet I could go out into the living room or the kitchen or whatever. Matter of fact, I don't know if you guys can see. But there's part of our kitchen area. And like it's nice. It's really, it's decent size and all that, and our fridge is right there and makes it really nice when I want to get a drink or whatever. I just roll over to because I'm using Keith's chair now, which he gives me hassle about, kind of teases me. It's like, yeah, I gave up my chair, and it's like, you can get it back if you want to. I can sit on the couch. And it's like, no, 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 no. So far it's been going really well. Like I said, I think the hardest thing is just getting used to having to walk everywhere. Because, like even the other day when we rode the train, we had to walk for a little bit to get to the train and all that. And, well, of course, then it didn't help that I had some kind of a cold or something that was hanging on me for my first couple weeks. Matter of fact, I still do cough every once in a while. But for the most part, I'm doing okay. So, I don't know. It's just kind of it's like right now I'm just trying to decide what I want to do. Like, as far as, do I want to get a job that's out there in the world? Do I want to monetize my YouTube channel? Do I want to. I've been starting working on writing more, at least um, on the Marvel site and all that. And so that's kind of neat. But I'm like, I don't know. But I guess what I have to keep in mind is that it's up to me from here on out. I don't have to listen to what my parents have to say, and I don't have to. Like, I ask advice from Keith and stuff, but he definitely very make your own decision, do what makes you happy, and I'll support you, So it's been like weird. Like I'll suggest, or I'll be like the other day, I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna go to the store and pick up a couple of things, and he was like, I can get those, you know, because the nice thing is that it works until like about four to five around there at his job. And so that he's basically more of a um what's the word I'm looking for? You know, but he's like, and I've done some cleaning and stuff like that, and I plan on doing some more cleaning and see if I can figure out where to put more of my stuff and all that, see if we have room for everything. And yeah. So it's just right now basically a matter of settling in, kind of trying to figure out what to do with my day in between the stuff. And also, right now, I have two devices that I play Sky on. And right now we're in the middle of a very musical season. It's called Season of Duets. And the story behind it is kind of interesting because it's these two friends who live in Bayberry Village, which, keep in mind, we only discovered like a couple seasons ago. And so, which I find kind of fun. Like, they're always coming up with clever ways of, like, oh, if you go here, you will see these people, or whatever. And it's like a village where people can live and work and stuff like that. So I find funny that even though these people are all spirits, that they're still working. That they're still working, that they're still, and then they're helping us. Because there's like a cape store, there's a place you can go and change your hairstyle, that kind of thing. And now they've changed the quest system because you used to be able to just go to the statue and get your daily quest from there. Well, now they have where you go to this little cafe and there's like four spirits sitting outside, and you go and talk to each of them, and they each give you a quest to do. And which I find kind of fun because then when you complete the quest, you go back to the people and you get candles from each of them. So I just find they're really clever. It's kind of makes it a bit more personal, if that makes sense. Instead of just let me run and get the quest from the statue, it's oh hey, oh we have quests for you, kind of thing. Makes it a bit more personal and a lot less like I'm not even sure how, like who was giving us quests before. But like I said, it's kind of definitely nicer that it's like you get quests from individual people and stuff. But anyway, the season of duets, it's a fun season, but it's very musical. And like for the quest, well, especially for the quest in this one, like you start out the season by meeting the season guide, who is one of the people who was like, there's a piano player and a cellist. Somebody who plays the cello. And so, and the only one you can interact with at first is the piano player. And so every quest, including the one I'm trying to get through now, has to do with you have to play a song or part of a song. And I am not good at that. I am not, like, I admired the heck out of Sky Kids, as we call them, who you just come across them and they're just sitting there and they're playing music on one of the instruments you can get throughout the game. I have a bunch of instruments, but I barely played them. And like, even in Season Performance, which was kind of the first game that really focused on performing and music and all that, but it didn't really focus on music so much. It was more putting on plays and, that kind of thing. And so, I don't know, it's just really interesting because this is definitely more of a music season, which is fine, but it's like, I'm not good at playing music. And like, I've managed to get through the quest so far by the skin of my teeth, but this one, you have to do a cello, number one, which is an instrument I've never had to play before. But not only that, but usually you just go through and you tap the squares as they come up, and you kind of have to wait for the little marker to reach whatever square comes up next. And sometimes it goes fast, sometimes it goes slow. So I've got to be pretty good at that. But now they're wanting the last 5 or whatever notes of the song. You have to hold so I'm struggling with that. I'm just like, I don't know how to do this. I'm still not doing it right. And I spent like a great bit of yesterday trying to figure out how to do that. And like, I'm still not doing it correctly. Because what's supposed to happen is, because you go through, first off, you go through this spirit's emotions and memories of the event that led to the two of them breaking up and everything, which by itself is kind of weird because it wasn't really either of their faults. It was just basically, how a while back we had the season of shattering, and that still happens like every single day. Like, you'll go to a certain area of the land, and either red or black shards will fall from above. Well, apparently that's what happened is, and I'm not even entirely sure how this happened because the shards need a place to land, but yet the concert hall is like in a tunnel. Like you get to it by getting on a boat and sailing into a tunnel. You go around a few corners and stuff, and then you come into this big, huge area. And it's like a table set up, and I'm assuming back in the day you could get like food or whatever, and then the performers would come out. And so it's a good story, but it's just a struggle for me to get through. And like I said, I'm just not very talented musically. Like, I've never been able to, like, read music or play an instrument or anything like that. I've always enjoyed singing and stuff. But even that, I do more of like listening to the people around me, especially if I'm like in a choir or whatever. And I kind of go by ear versus, you know, versus reading music and being, okay, B, C, D, G, whatever. You know, it's like, I don't know how to do that. I've never really learned how to do that. Which is fine, but it's always kind of funny because when I was a lot younger, I used to think, oh, I want to be a musician. I want to sing for a living, and stuff. And I'm like, how would that have worked? You know? Especially with, like, you know, like actual music writers giving me a song and me, can you sing it this way? And me being like, I don't know how to read music, kind of thing. But I could probably figure it out. Like I've never had issue, and I've done various solos, way back in the day when I was in school and stuff. And I've never had anybody say, actually, you did that different than the music. Why? Kind of thing. So, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of one of those things I wonder, could I have made a career out of singing if I didn't know how to read music? I don't know, and I suppose I'll probably never know, unless I decide to go for something like that now. But the problem is being older and the fact that my hearing has gotten worse and all that. It kind of makes me think, I don't know. I don't know if I would, be able to do that. But yeah, so that's what I've been working on lately. And, like, I don't know. Like, I kind of. Like, how do I say this? Like, I've kind of gotten to the point where I'm just enjoying, like, it's 12:41 p.m. and I haven't really done much of anything. I mean, I kind of made the bed, made myself some lunch, that kind of thing. But I mean, like, I haven't gone out. I haven't really done much cleaning. I haven't, and like, I don't know. Like, part of me is almost to the point where I'm just like, where I start to feel bad about that. Because, when I lived with my parents and all that, I was always like either working or I would have to get ready and then go to work and even when I stopped working and stuff and kind of, but I didn't really do all that much. And as y'all know, a lot of that is because of how my parents were, and like the fact that I couldn't do this because, there would normally be somebody at home with me. And, they kind of had the attitude of, like online, trying to make money online isn't, I don't know if it was that it's not viable or if it's that they just didn't like it, that they were just, because it was weird, because especially my dad was, I mean, he spent more time online than I did, really, but for like shorter periods, if that makes sense. But like, he would be, it's like I go into the den and he would either be watching the neighbors outside or he would be watching one of his videos or whatever, or studying online or whatever. And yet he was always like, you know, they kind of both have the attitude of the internet is kind of dangerous. And it's like, okay, I kind of get your point, but at the same time, like, I've met at least three people, you know, Serena, way back in the day from the charm group that we were a part of. Um, I met Amanda online, my best friend, and I met Keith online, you know, and also Ash and Nikki, you know. Like I've met people online, and so far, zero of them have turned out to be creeps or wanting to take my skin and sell it on eBay or whatever. But at the same time, living with my parents, I couldn't really do what I'm doing now. But it's like now, it's like Keith is at work, and so I can do this. I can be, and like, I think I could still do the recording with Keith here, but I just haven't yet because it's kind of like I don't want to put pressure on him to be in my videos if he doesn't want to be. Well, and also, I'm kind of still starting out the way they were before, and with me just talking to you guys on camera and stuff, versus eventually I wanted to get you guys out. I want to do like little tours and show you the way things are in Exeter and the walking and some of the shops and stuff. And it's just kind of cool stuff oh, like let's go in here, and kind of show you around. I'm still trying to decide if I want to sign back up for TikTok, but like I couldn't get the like I could only do one video, and then my videos kept freezing. I could never figure out what I was doing wrong. So it's like I could do TikTok, I could do Instagram, that kind of thing, you know. So I don't really know. I don't really know. I kind of know where I want to take this. Like I said, I want to take you guys outside. I want to take you guys out, show you around Exeter, or show you some of the different shops, that kind of thing. But I don't, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure all that out. And like I said, I'm trying to figure out, okay, do I want to be a writer? Do I want to sit and focus on writing a lot? Do I want to sit and, focus on doing stuff like this a lot? And I'm not really sure. So I guess I'm trying to grant myself patience, because part of me is just like, I need to know right now what I'm going to do. And it's like, no, I don't. I have all the time in the world now to decide what I want to do, And like, I can try different things. So I may switch things up a little bit on this channel. Maybe. So hopefully you guys are okay with that. I am very grateful that you guys have been willing to listen to my rants, my generic, just my thoughts that come out of my head. But like, doing this really helps, because it kind of focuses me. It kind of makes me go, okay, I'm focusing on this right now, so let's do this, And like, it's kind of funny, but I kind of think of you guys as my audience, my online friends, the people who, like every once in a while I'll get on here and we'll talk, and I'll share with you about my day, and hopefully you guys feel comfortable to share with me about your day. Let me know how you guys are doing. Let me know what you guys are going through, what you guys are struggling with. Because it's like, I'm not in any way a professional. But I can tell you one thing, is I've heard enough about how bad BetterHelp is, I will never have them as a sponsor. If I do decide to monetize this channel, I will never have BetterHelp as a sponsor. And actually, it's funny because I've been, like, the last few months, I've been getting a lot of emails from them. Kind of, join up to BetterHelp now and, talk about your problems and all that. And yeah, it's like I've heard so many people have bad experiences with them that I'm like, no, I don't think so. Plus, I would kind of rather wait till I'm making a little bit of money and then whatever way I decide to do that. And then, find somebody professional, find like a professional therapist, because there's got to be at least one of them out there in Exeter. And so, but like, that's the fun part about where I'm at now. It's like I can explore, I can do what I want to do. I can, like I can go out there this afternoon in Exeter and go walk around and go explore and stuff. And just, it's just really neat. It's just really neat that I don't have to worry about pleasing people like I felt like I had to do with my parents and all that. So, and I'm still trying to figure out, like, I have at least two of my friends who I want to talk to and stuff, so I'm trying to figure out the best way of doing that and all. But, like, it's kind of neat. Like I've had days where I've gotten up kind of late, taken a shower, done stuff, done some cleaning around here, made myself some lunch, and then I've gone out and explored town a bit. And, it's fun. It's definitely different to have. Whereas before, like, I had the whole day, but I was very limited in where I could go. Now it's kind of the opposite. Like, I'm pretty much unlimited in where I can go. And there's so much that I haven't explored yet, or that I'd like to explore more of. And, it's just kind of really neat to be like, I feel like I'm still in the settling in phase, if that makes sense. So, I don't know. I'm just kind of trying to figure things out as I go. So, if you guys will hang out with me and, we'll see if I can figure things. I'm sure I will eventually figure things out, figure out what I want to do, either as a job or as a career, or even as just a hobby, with occasional dividends, whatever. But yeah, so look forward to more of these. And like I said, hopefully more of them out in the wild, out in public and walking around and stuff like that. And So I hope you guys are having a great day today. And I love y'all. Thanks so much for sticking with me and for putting up with just stuff, with me. So have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.